to India and Ireland, round Africa and back again. We don't really need to know just where we'll go. Maybe Canada, then to Brazil, then through the Alpine foothills. All I really want to know is, can we go? Oh baby, can we go? Round and around the globe.
Welcome to Take Me With You, episode 154. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Cheryl. We are two well-traveled people who want to go everywhere.
But that's not going to happen. Instead, for the last couple of years, we've been traveling vicariously by inviting guests to share their unique travel stories with us.
It's been awesome, and our podcast has been all over the globe.
Now we're taking some time to revisit the Wish You Were Here segment of our show, where we each share travel attractions that we recommend.
This week's Wish You Were Here's are from Southern California, minus Los Angeles.
SoCal.
Yes.
Wait, why minus Los Angeles, Cheryl?
Because next week's episode is just Los Angeles. So stay tuned.
All
if you are
right.
into the LA specific. But Southern California is really big.
It is.
Like bigger than a lot of states.
It is. That's true. And I should also clarify that when we say that we've got Southern California this week and LA next week, we mean LA like the actual city LA.
LA County.
As opposed to LA, like I think of LA of just all of Southern California.
Yeah.
Not really, but like I lump LA County and Orange County and the other counties that are there, like what's the one on the coast? I don't remember. Anyway, a bunch of those areas. And in my head, they're all LA, even though they're not really LA. Okay. Right. So for example, this week, we have quite a few that come from Disneyland.
Which is not in LA.
It's not in LA. Yeah, it's in Orange County and the city of Anaheim.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, this is, I just want to take this trip right now. Because what a lovely trip that is.
Yeah.
And I used to go to those places a lot when I went to school down there. So
sure.
It's going to be kind of a nostalgic episode for me. And I hope if people haven't visited these places that they do consider them on their next trip.
Yep. Definitely worth it. I've not been to all of them, but I've been to some of them. So I can speak for those. And for the ones I haven't been to yet, they sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cheryl, why don't you go ahead and start?
Okay, great. So the one I'm going to talk about today is something inside of Disney's California Adventure. Apparently, I'm on my little Disney kick right now. I just shared about a Disney one in our last episode as well. But so this is just a fun little inside scoop for somebody who's visiting Disneyland or California Adventure. Is that there are some restaurants you can go to that if you eat like from this like prefix menu, then they'll give you this ticket to like a really good viewing spot for one of the like attractions that evening. And so I did it in California Adventure, and so there's like a couple of different restaurants you can choose from, and then you have to do this like menu that they have, and then you get to see the World of Color, which is their really cool like water and lights show, which is like so impressive. You can't even describe it. I mean, they're like doing projections on water, and it's like just amazing because Disney does everything full out. So it was fun. Normally when I'm in Disneyland or California Adventure, I'm not really like sitting down for a meal. I'm just kind of like eating food here and there. But it was a fun thing that I did with one of my good friends as like a birthday present for her. And so we went to Wine Country Trattoria, which is supposed to be like a Tuscan type of restaurant. And so it was like a very good meal. And then we got like front row tickets without waiting in line to the World of Color. And so I would say that that's like a fun dining package option if somebody wants to do like a sit down meal while they're at Disney, and then also, you know, not have to wait in line for, and then they do the same thing in Disneyland, but with the fireworks show. So, yeah.
Who would like to go first?
Me. Okay.
All right, go for it.
All right. Well, apparently I'm on a bit of a Disney kick because I have another one from the Disneyland area that I want to recommend. So if you are going to Disneyland or California Adventure, or if you're not paying to go in the parks, but if you're in the area, so like downtown Disney is like this cute little area of like restaurants and shops that you don't pay to go to. The Grand California Hotel, apparently it's really expensive to stay there. I've never stayed there. The lobby, anyone can just go hang out in, and it is like, might be one of my favorite places in the world, actually.
Wow.
Well, I
Why?
just, like,
What's so cool about it?
It feels a lot like the Yellowstone Lodge, as far as like it's like this giant lodge feel. They have a live piano player there, like maybe all the time. And
it's Disney, so probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's they have these giant, comfy like couch chairs. And I think part of why I love it there so much is because I went to school in Southern California, and so sometimes I had a Disney pass, but sometimes I would just take my homework and go do homework in the lobby of the Grand California Hotel while listening to like this piano music. And it's like bustling but not too crowded, and like no one was talking to me, so I could focus, but it was like things were going on. And so I think part of that is just like those memories, or like being there with friends as we'd go into one of the parks, and then just like after midnight, after everything closed, walk back through the lobby. And so I've been in that lobby like, I don't know, probably 100 times. And so but it's just like this really wonderful place. And so yeah, I would definitely say like go to that lobby, hang out. It is a good time. It's very relaxing. If you're in the parks and you just need a little downtime, it's just like it's super chill, air conditioned if you're there on a hot day. So check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Cheryl, what are you going to do for your Wish You Were Here?
So I'm going to do one in Disneyland, since I got so jealous that you're going there. And like I said, I had an annual pass for several years in college. So as a... You're not going to want to do this, but other listeners might want to.
Okay.
As a pass holder who went frequently, just like for a couple hours on a Friday night, sometimes one of my and my friends' favorite things to do was to go to Tomorrowland. And in Tomorrowland, they have a stage. And during the daytime, I don't know what they do these days, but they used to do like Jedi training for kids and things like that. It was really cute. At nighttime, they would have a band come.
Okay.
And people would just, I mean, it just was a small area that you could just stand and watch the band play. And a few people would be there to watch them. And maybe people would just walk past and stuff. And my friends and I would start a dance party. And we would try to get other people around to join our dance party.
Of course you would.
And it was one of my favorite things to do in Disneyland, was just go to the Tomorrowland stage and get a dance party going, and then the band would take breaks, and then during the breaks we'd go on rides. So that is my Wish You Were Here.
Okay. Do you still do that every time you go to Disneyland?
No, I also haven't been in 4 years, so I'm kind of missing it right now. Oh, it's probably going to be a while till I go, too. So
You think so?
Yep, I'm going to have to go vicariously through you and your trip report, I'm pretty sure. So
Well, I think that's okay. Again, it's been over 25 years for me, so.
Okay, well, there we go. I don't feel so bad now.
Yeah, 4 years.
I know what I'm
25
missing
years.
out on. And
That's true.
Awesome. How about you, Ryan?
Well, for mine, this is actually something that comes from my trip last February that we were just kind of talking about. And it's one in Disneyland, which I've been avoiding recording this one because, at least as of right now when we're recording, and it's still August for us when we're recording, and Disneyland is still closed. Disney World is open, although I don't know if it's going to stay open. But it might. But Disneyland is still closed and no sign of it opening anytime soon. But at some point in the future, it probably will. And if you have a chance to go, you're going to be proud of me, Cheryl. This is a restaurant tip. Wish you were here. So this is the Jolly Holiday Bakery. And it's First of all, I love it just because it's the Jolly Holiday from Mary Poppins, which I love that movie. It's so good and it's wonderful. And I walked past it a bunch of times because it's, I don't know Disneyland super well, but it's near I don't even know what you call it, that circle area where you can kind of go off on the spokes to the different lands.
Main Street Plaza.
There you go. That's it. Main Street Plaza. And so anytime you're walking from one land to another, oftentimes you walk through there and walk past it. And it was always busy all day long. There were like people there. And I think they do character meals where I'm sure Mary Poppins comes by and things like that. But it always looked, busy. And then the second day that I was there, I was there at night, and I was there in the evening, which was awesome. And I had to I wanted a place for dinner, and I walked by, and it was not empty, but there was no line out the door. There were not a lot of people there. So I actually did it for dinner. Nice. And it was really, really pleasant because, again, not a huge line. I mean, it was like a sandwich, and some people feel like sandwiches are just lunch, and that's fine if you want to do that. But I don't mind a sandwich anytime, especially if it's warm. And so I went in, ordered my sandwich, and then I could sit in sort of the outside seating and just people watch. And again, because it's around that hub, you can see a lot of people kind of walking around. You can see the castle, and it's lit at night. And it was just a really pleasant way to just sit and rest and still see things, but not feel like you have to run and do things. And also a way to kind of get to a place that was pretty popular when it was less busy. So the Jolly Holiday Bakery, but for dinner.
I have never eaten there.
Never even heard of it.
Although, I've walked past it a million times, and the little penguin stained glass are adorable. So, yeah, I think that's some of my favorite Disneyland moments is when you're just sitting and just enjoying the atmosphere and everything.
Well, you mean like on a ride? Like those moments? Beth, Steven, would one of you like to go first?
Who should go first?
Oh, I think you should
I'll
go first.
I'm domestic, so I'll go first. I'm not like the wife kind. Like I'm talking about a domestic thing.
Oh, it was
that didn't work well at all.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, Steven's making thumbs up in the background. No, I am. So my suggestion is to a domestic to the U.S. California state option. It is a restaurant and kind of compound of cool stuff called The Old Place. It's right off of Mulholland Highway in Agoura Hills, which is the inland side of Malibu. Just this last winter, that whole area burned down, but the old place still stands. So, which I'm very excited about. It is a restaurant that is, I would say, not themed because it's like to its core like old like rancher style barbecue place. Like it's not fake country. It's like it was potentially standing there when that was like ranch area anyway. It's like a lot of skulls and like just like cool old stuff called The Old Place. It's a tiny little restaurant. I think there's 4 booths and a bar. And the booths are by reservation only and the bar is first come first serve. They do all their barbecuing on site and smoke everything, and the food is incredible. We went there for breakfast one morning of the weekend that he proposed because it was just down the street from where we were staying, and we just it had good reviews, I don't know, and it was a really good breakfast, like just absolutely incredible. And then we've been back twice since.
At least another time. It's really great. And by barbecue, it's like they have like really good steaks.
Yeah.
And the breakfast we had there was phenomenal. But it just feels just so authentically itself, which is often hard to find in the Malibu, West Hollywood area between the two. But the area, just driving back through Agoura Hills, the inland side of Malibu, when you get up into the hills, often doesn't get as much love as the water side, but it's absolutely beautiful out there.
Yeah. It's my favorite place. But also, next door to that is a wine tasting area for Malibu Winery, I think is. It's a ton of wines. It's a whole huge tasting room that you can do flights or a whole bunch of stuff. And they have like cute little gift shop and fun stuff. And then next to that is a French antique import store. And by antiques, I mean like full like columns and fireplaces and furniture and art, and like it's like big old stuff that like super rich people shop for their houses. Like it's not like, oh, what a cute little antique store that we get on the west side of the country. It's like everything is imported from France. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, nobody can afford anything in there if they don't already live in Malibu.
Yeah. It's really cool. But it's so fun to walk around in it, and it's in this old house that you just kind of walk through, and it's such a cool place that you can like go put your name in on the reservation list, hop over to get some wine. If your name comes up, they'll come over and find you. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna be over there? Cool, we'll come and get you." Yeah. Like everyone's really nice, and because it's such a small place,
it's like somebody took a ghost town,
and
made it into a place with like a restaurant stuff. And the buildings are very old. I think there's like in the actual little town itself that's right there has a name, and I think that used to be like the post office and stuff. And like the only way to do reservations is to call and leave it on their answering machine. They do not have like, they are very old school. It's really great.
And they during like the nice weather days, I mean it's California, so most of the days they have like artists and other like artisans out there like on the porch selling stuff. There's a guy who's an artist who's always out there, and like the last time we were there, we talked to him for like an hour while we were waiting. He was super cool. So it's just like this wonderful place. And
there's also a coffee shop attached.
That's right. There's a coffee shop in the back too. So you can just like make your way down these couple little buildings, and it's so good. The food's not cheap, but it's totally worth it. It's like a really fun just date night or little stop. And then you get to drive through these winding roads on the way back. You can either go back down to the water and down, or like out more inland and hit the freeway. It's so pretty. And
cool.
When everything was on fire, we were... Yeah, Cheryl, when you're here, we can go. When everything was on fire, we were really scared that it was on fire. But on their Instagram, they're like, "We're still standing." So they're open now and everything. So
the bridge to the old place melted. It was so hot.
Yeah.
The area across the street from it is like completely charred, but somehow the old place is still there.
Still standing. So go to the old place. It's great.
Cheryl, what do you have for this week?
So last week I shared about the Getty Center, which is an art museum in Los Angeles. This week I'm going to share about the Getty Villa, which is another museum in Los Angeles. Same Getty, different location. So same guy.
Okay.
Mr.
So
Getty.
what makes it different?
So I would say go to the Getty Center because it's a fun, like, classic LA museum. Go to the Getty Villa because you'll feel like you're traveling somewhere not exotic. You'll feel like you're traveling somewhere else, which is very cool. So Paul Getty, who's the Getty guy, got super interested in this villa that was in what is now Italy. The villa at Paperi?
What do you mean, what is now Italy?
It's like a villa from history. Well, he's not old, but there was like this villa from history that there's like drawings of, and like they've like discovered. Well, they discovered it in 1750, but it was really old.
Okay.
And so it was like during Roman times. And so he got super into it and found like, I guess there's like the plans of it and stuff like that. And so he recreated it in Malibu in Los Angeles.
Whoa.
At the Getty Villa. And so it's fun because you feel like you're in Italy. So, or Greece. It's like ancient Greece, Rome, and, you know, that whole feel to it, definitely. And there is art from ancient Greece and Rome as well there, and sculptures and all these things. And so, and there's like this really big, like gorgeous, very long, skinny, like fountain area. There's just like the landscaping is gorgeous. The
is
view
it a fountain
is
or
of
is
the
it
ocean.
A pool or a pond?
Actually, it might be a pool. Apparently, I mashed up those words because last week I mashed up fountain and I guess pool. It's not a pond. A pond is just like a natural thing. It's a pool that you don't swim in, I guess. I mean, you could swim, but they might throw you out. So, yeah, I would say like Malibu is just gorgeous. So, like, to get there, you drive up the coast, which is really fun. And it's just, I mean, there's a reason that people buy their fancy homes there because Malibu is gorgeous. And then going to the Getty Villa is very cool. And it's pretty big, and there's a view of the ocean, and it's just like a very relaxing place to visit. And I would say that, to me, a good museum includes enjoying the building itself, because I love buildings a lot. And so being in a cool building or in a cool space with, you know, even like a cool outdoor area, for me is a big draw of going to a museum. And so this is definitely one that, like, I mean, this building is like very specific for a reason. And so it's fun to enjoy that. So I'd say the building is kind of like a piece of the museum. It is.
That's cool.
Yeah. So check out both Gettys in LA, you know, maybe do them back to back if you're feeling adventurous.
How far away from each other are they?
Let me do directions for you really quick. I think the Getty Villa, also, you do need to get tickets online in advance, and I think it's free. Is it free? Because I think they're a nonprofit somehow. But you have to book it in advance, and so I would say don't just like drive up, like look it up online and everything. You can get from one to another in 18 minutes.
If there's no traffic.
If there's no traffic, yeah. Right now at 10 o'clock at night, you can get there in 18 minutes.
Okay.
So, yeah, check out the Gettys, the Getty Villa. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it was. We would love it if you would follow us on social media. We are at Timwy Podcast. That's at TMWY for Take Me With You Podcast. We are on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
You can also email us at timwypodcast@gmail.com. Tell us, what are your wish you were here's for this location?
We would love to hear that. You can also call us and leave us a voicemail at 406-763-8699. Or if it's easier to remember, 406-POD-TIMWY. We would love it if you would rate and review our podcast to tell other people what you think about it, subscribe to make sure you don't miss an episode, and share about this episode on your social media.
As always, thank you to Beth Reed Miller for the awesome artwork. You can check out more of Beth's artwork at Beth Is Something. And thank you to Erica Corbin for the use of her song Round the Globe. You can listen to Erica's music wherever music is sold or streamed.
That's all we have for this episode, so until next time, remember to take me with you.
Take me with you!
Can we get a sailboat chasing down the sunset as we float round and round the globe? Salty air and balmy nights, guided only by the lights above, and a little love. Oh, the world is out there waiting to explore, and all our troubles here wanting to be